All right, let's talk about keeping your basement dry. When you think about that, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's the sump pump, right? But what if relying on that pump alone is like having a security system with just one camera pointing at the back door? Today, we're going to unpack what a complete water defense system really looks like. And make no mistake, the stakes are incredibly high. We're not talking about a little damp spot in the corner. Basement flooding is one of the single most expensive emergencies you can face as a homeowner. It can destroy your belongings, lead to serious mold, and even cause structural damage to your house. So, you've got that pump down there in the pit. You hear it hum to life every once in a while. You figure you're all set for the next big storm, right? Well, that's a really common assumption, and honestly, it can be a dangerous one. Because that pump, it's only one piece of the puzzle. And this is the key idea we're digging into today. A system that actually works doesn't just react to water that's already in your basement. It proactively manages water from the outside in, treating the pump as the absolute last line of defense, not the first and only one. So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at where the problem starts, the water itself. Then we'll cover the most important solutions that happen outside your home. After that, we'll get into picking the right pump, what to do when things fail, and finally, the simple maintenance that keeps the whole system humming. Okay, so first things first, before we can even talk about pumping water out, we really need to get a handle on how it gets in. The real battle against a flooded basement starts long before a single drop of water ever touches your foundation. You know, water is just relentless. It can seep up from the ground if the water table is high. It can come rushing out your house the surface runoff during a huge rainstorm. Heck, even your own roof can turn against you if your gutters are clogged, dumping thousands of gallons of water right up against your foundation walls. And this brings us to what might be the single most important idea in this whole explainer. Your best defense is a good offense, and that offense starts outside. The goal here is to drastically reduce the amount of work your sump pump ever has to do in the first place. This really shows you the proper order of operations. Notice what's number one? Improving exterior drainage. Everything else on this list, the pump, the backups, is there to support that first goal. You want to win the battle on the lawn, not in the basement. So what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, it can be as simple as making sure the dirt around your house slopes away from the foundation. It means adding extensions to your downspouts so they dump water far away from your house. And for more serious issues, things like French drains and catch basins can literally intercept that water and pipe it away before it gets anywhere near your home. Okay, so once you've done everything you can to manage the water outside, now it's time to focus on the pump itself. But here's the thing, buying a sump pump isn't like buying a toaster. It's a technical decision, and it has to be matched specifically to your home's situation. Now, this slide introduces a term you absolutely have to know, head pressure. This number is critical. It's not just about how many gallons per minute a pump can move, it's about how high it can lift that water. If your pump isn't rated for the head pressure in your house, it won't matter how powerful it is. It just won't be able to push the water all the way out. The size of the actual pit the pump sits in is also a huge deal. If that basin is too small, the pump will kick on, kick off, kick on, kick off, over and over again. That's called short cycling, and it'll burn out the motor in no time. But if the pit's too big, it lets a ton of water build up before the pump even starts working. It's a Goldilocks situation. You need it to be just right. So you get the water out of the pit. Awesome. But the job isn't done. You have to make sure that water stays out. The discharge pipe has to run far away from your house and have the right downward slope. And this is crucial. You need a check valve. Think of it as a one-way door. It lets water out, but it slams shut to prevent all that water in the pipe from flowing right back into your pit once the pump turns off. So we've got a great exterior plan and the perfect pump. We're all good, right? Well, what happens when the power goes out in the middle of a massive thunderstorm? Because things break, power grids go down, and that's why any truly robust system has to plan for failure. This is your insurance policy. A battery backup system is a total lifesaver. It can take over the second the power cuts out. A high water alarm is your early warning system. It can send an alert right to your phone if the water is rising when it shouldn't be, giving you precious time to react. These aren't luxuries. They're essential parts of a system that's designed to work when you need it most. We have designed the perfect system. It's powerful, it's smart, it has backups, but it's not a set-it-and-forget-it machine. Like any high-performance system, it needs regular checkups. This is the final piece of the puzzle, and frankly, it's the one that gets overlooked the most.
The good news is this stuff is actually pretty easy. Every so often, especially before the rainy season hits, you just need to peek in the pit and make sure the pump's inlet isn't clogged with debris. Make sure that little float switch that turns it on can move freely. And the best thing you can do? Pour a big bucket of water in the pit and make sure the whole system actually kicks on and works. It's a 5-minute test that could save you thousands.
So if you take only one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Stop thinking about your yard's grading, your gutters, and your sump pump as separate items. They are all interconnected. They're all part of a single, unified system with one job: to keep your home safe and dry.
And that leaves us with one final thought. It is so easy to forget about that pit in the corner of the basement until it's too late. So take a minute and think about your own home's defenses. Are you just relying on a lonely pump, or do you have a complete system? Is it really ready for the next storm?